Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike with RDG here. Uh, Recently got a suppressor out of ATF jail, even though posted bond for it back in May of last year. Took it to the range, and we've shot a couple hundred rounds through it, and was kind of surprised at the amount of carbon buildup that was on the baffles when I got this thing apart. But this could just be normal. Being my first suppressor, you know, this could be the normal. So just you'll see a couple pictures here in just a second of what it looks like clean and dirty. So like I said, this could be normal wear and tear. So the suppressor that I bought was the Surefire Ryder 9 Ti. This is the older model of the same design that they released. I think it was August of 2020. They released the Ryder 9 Ti2, and there's not much difference between the two, except the newer one, it's about an ounce heavier, has a redesigned front plate, and the internal baffles are redesigned slightly to offer a better fit. Both of them have a titanium housing, heat treated, and steel internal baffles, so it's going to be a good can that you can run. It's going to run you around 850 if I haven't mentioned that already, depending on uh, what supplier you go through to get it. Accompany that with your $200 tax stamp, so you're looking at about $1,000 out the door to get this thing home. So when we were at the range, we shot 115 grain, 124 grain, and 147 grain full metal jacket. There wasn't that much difference between the 115 and the 124, but as soon as I jumped to that 147 grain full metal jacket, you could clearly tell a difference between the two. So when you get this pretty little thing home, it's going to come with a little utility pouch. It'll come with a manual, of course. It's going to come with a half-inch by 28 piston from the factory. So if you're going to need to attach this to your fixed barrel pistol caliber carbine like I did, or on any other handgun that's got a fixed barrel, you're going to need to buy that fixed barrel spacer, and that's going to run about $50, depending again on which supplier you go through. So make sure you check that out. I don't know if you need that on the newer Ti2 model or not, but you probably do. I doubt it's going to come with it in the box. But you're also going to get this disassembly tool. So don't lose this, because you're going to need it to take it apart and help keep everything together. So take your disassembly tool and insert it in through the rear cap, the same end that you're going to screw in to the end of your barrel, and unscrew the rear cap. Spin it around and insert your disassembly tool in through the front plate, and you'll see whenever you get this in there that the pins on the disassembly tool are going to line up with the holes on both the end cap and your front plate. Now once you get your front plate off, it's not going to slide out really easy like you see here. This is when you're going to use your baffle removal tool, and you're going to slide this into the top just like you had your disassembly removal tool. But you see how it's notched? The tool is notched, so you're going to put that in there and you're going to turn it or rotate it until it kind of snaps in place, and you're going to see it's may be difficult. It's not going to pop out like this did. You may have to exert a little bit of force to push those baffles out. Here you see I've got all 6 of the baffles out, and I've got them numbered here for you. You don't need me to number them for you because Surefire has already engraved each baffle with their corresponding number to help you when you reassemble these on your disassembly tool once you're done cleaning. And here you see the one on the left obviously has not been cleaned, and the one on the right has been cleaned. Again, maybe this is just normal carbon buildup for a couple hundred rounds. So this is what it looked like after. This is what all of them looked like when I disassembled this thing after the range day we had. When I started, all I did is I got some of our solvent and kind of coated the areas where the carbon buildup was and let it sit while I was cleaning one of the others. Probably it may not be necessary, but it's just one extra step that I did just to kind of help get that carbon off. Probably wasn't needed for what little amount of carbon was on there. So if you've got some that have a lot of heavy carbon buildup, this may be something that you might want to do. Fast forward through the cleaning process. The tool that I'm using, some of you may recognize, is just your AR carbon scraping tool. Use whichever tool makes it easier for you. I use this because it had a lot of curved edges on it made to clean the bolt carrier group on your AR. So I just went through and tried to clean off as much as I could, wipe it off as I go, and just do your best to get the carbon off. It doesn't have to be crystal clean. You don't need to break out the Brillo pad or your Dremel tool or buff it out with some Brasso. None of that's needed. You just want to scrape that carbon off once you're done cleaning and you are reassembling. So you check out here on number 6, which is the one on the left. I've got this yellow outline around the tab that they have at the bottom of the baffle, and it's made to fit into the notch on baffle number 5, which I have outlined there in green. But as you can see, I don't have it in the notch correctly. That's because it's very easy for it to jump over to that other indentation, I guess, on number 5. So when you are reassembling, make sure that is lined up correctly when you reinsert these baffles into the housing of your suppressor. Once you get them all cleaned, put them all on your removal tool and reinsert them into the housing. You're just going to reverse the steps that you did when you removed it, and that's all there is to it. Now, there is a spacer that is in there that sits on top of baffle number 6. I don't know if it is supposed to come out, but mine did not, and there was no way for me to put something in there to kind of force it out to clean it. But seeing as how it's just a spacer, I didn't worry about it. All I did is clean the baffles and reinserted it. Now once you get these baffles reinserted and you're screwing that front plate back on, make sure that that front plate is on tight. If you don't have it on there tight enough and you shake your suppressor and you hear something rattling around inside of there, then you've either got one of those baffles not lined up correctly, meaning it's not in that notch that I showed you earlier, or you don't have that front cap screwed on tight enough. That's all there is for this video. I hope it was helpful for somebody. Hit us up with any comments below. I will list below the tool, the AR carbon scraping tool that I used, as well as the solvent that I used to pre-soak those carbon areas. But nothing else to say on here. If you guys have any questions or comments, throw them down below. And be gentle. First video. Thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy.